On December 17 of 2024 at 12:47 p.m. local time, a major earthquake struck just 30 kilometers or 18.6 miles west of Vanuatu's capital city, Port Vila. Registering in as a magnitude 7.3, it caused the ground to shake back and forth for 30 seconds with such a severity that even structures built to withstand high-magnitude earthquakes likely would have still sustained some damage, with the ground acceleration at points reaching 40% the force of gravity. While damage was vastly different on various islands, on the island with Port Vila some buildings completely collapsed. Various national embassies suffered critical damage, with the ground floor collapsing at the US, UK, New Zealand, and French embassies. Cars were crushed, and 2 bridges collapsed. Widespread landslides were generated by the severe shaking, burying roads and additional structures. For example, here are a few of the geolocated landslides which occurred at just one of the capital's port facilities. However, this earthquake also generated a localized tsunami warning for all coastlines within 300 kilometers of the earthquake's epicenter, warning of hazardous tsunami waves of up to 1 meter in height. While a tsunami did end up striking much of the nation's coastline, it was far smaller than initially feared, only reaching a maximum height of 25 centimeters or 9.8 inches. While damage and casualty assessments are still economics ongoing, preliminary U.S. Geological Survey models suggest an 80% chance of the total deaths and economic damage running between these two figures. If we take the upper figure, $800 million, that figure might not sound like a lot for a nation such as, say, Italy or Poland, but for Vanuatu that is more than the total expenditure for Vanuatu's entire government across 22 months. And, even if a more mid-range or lower figure ends up being correct, say $50 million, which I am almost certain is a minimum figure at this point, such a total would be difficult for a nation to pay since its economy heavily relies on remittance. I am not trying to give an economics lesson here, but I think larger nations should give a helping hand in this instance, much like was done after 2022's Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai eruption in the nation of Tonga. So, why did this earthquake occur, and what might happen next? The nation of Vanuatu, which consists of earthquake cause of 83 islands, is largely, although not entirely, composed of igneous rocks from various extinct, dormant, and active volcanoes. These volcanoes owe their existence to a major tectonic plate collision occurring to the west of the capital, where the Indo-Australian plate is subducting underneath the New Hebrides plate. The earthquake which struck was not centered on the zone between these two plates but rather the subducting slab itself, hence its moderate rather than shallow epicenter depth of 57.1 kilometers or 35